Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Coffee. This is James. I'm James. This is my morning coffee show. How are you all doing today? I hope you're all doing swell because today is June 29th, 2026. Yes, we only have a few more days until the 4th of July, the big 2050. 2050. I did the same thing I did earlier this morning. I tried to do. No, it's today. It's the big 250 for America's birthday. So, rightio. Right he ho. And I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm happy to be part of this plan. But today I want to talk about something that I've been kind of been haunting me for a while, and something I've been noticing on the medias, Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff, YouTube. Finally, I had to watch it. Finally, Nakey Jakey said something, and I was just like, okay, this is getting serious. And it's Rockstar Games' business model for Grand Theft Auto 6. For those who don't know, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out, and there's pre-orders for this game that people are excited for. They're getting the game, and they're going to get pre-orders, and they're going to get all this stuff and all these things. And it's kind of silly in a sense because, one, the physical media doesn't come with a disc. So if you're going to buy the game, you're not going to see that circular disc in there to play the game, which honestly wouldn't be a disc. It would be two discs. And which is funny because it's like Red Dead Redemption was two discs. Grand Theft Auto 4 was two discs. I'm so tired. And this is why I'm done with I'm not super done with gaming. I'm just done with gaming business practices like this. Either if it's Capcom, Rockstar and Take-Two, their parent company, I don't care if it's Konami. I'm tired of their shit. I really am tired of their shit. And hell, I'm in the middle of playing Metal Gear Solid 4. Excuse me, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. And even then I'm kind of noticing some things. I like the game, but honestly, like certain elements, certain things that it suffers from, but it's okay. It's okay. Water under the bridge. But again, with this whole like pre-order shit and like things that are locked behind a paywall. I'm just kind of tired of Rockstar. Like, I was not that impressed with where they were going with Grand Theft Auto, and especially Grand Theft Auto Online. They used to, Grand Theft Auto used to be cool. It really was kind of cool, but I'll get into that in just a moment. I want to talk about this. And basically, this is not just with Rockstar, it's with gaming in general, because you have people who are uh making games and charging an insane price of money to get to use them, and it's getting to a point where it's like I've had enough. I've had enough of corporations and all that stuff making $80 games, making 60 like I fine, $60 price was okay. 50, 40, from 40 to 50, 40 from 40 to 60, that was fine. And reason being why, because back old I didn't know this too. Back in the day, video games did cost a little bit more than $40 to $50, and that was a Nintendo game cartridge. They were expensive to make, but there's no excuse today because we have discs, but it's cheaper now than using a disc. You can now digitally download it. Okay, then how come it's $80 still? How come it's $80 for a physical copy? And the fact that you have all these DLC stuff, this first day, you know, these first day downloads, pre-order downloads and all this stuff. How come how come it's expensive, and how come it's stuff that's behind a paywall? Like what's going on here, Rockstar? Like, really, what's really going on here? Because it seems like you don't care about the consumer anymore. And you guys used to be cool. You guys used to be well, then again, you used to be very soft on the Republic. You used to be very soft on like left-leaning politics and very hard on right, and understandably, but it just seems like you've kind of sold out a little bit, Rocky Star. And I'm kind of done with you guys in a sense because it's just like again, like you're selling a plastic case with no disc in it, but it's a key to get it. And then again, this is another thing too that, it's kind of annoying with gaming companies in general, of just like, oh, you don't own your games, you don't own this game, you don't own it, we can just take it whenever we want, we can do whatever we want, we can just take all your stuff. And it's like, we gave you money, we bought this, we downloaded onto our hard drives to play these games, and now you're taking them back and saying we don't own them. What the fuck? Seriously, no, seriously, what the fuck? Because it's like, this is what's killing gaming, and it's not just gamers. It's, you know what it is? It's two things: crony capitalism, or corporatism as it's originally called, and woke ideology. And BlackRock, fuck those, and those two combinations combined. It's these woke ideology games that, are hammering down these fucking things that normal people would have been okay with. Like, let's be honest. You were, like, back in the day, we were okay with playing games with gay characters, trans characters, Saints Row 2, games with, black characters, white characters, woman characters, male, female. It didn't matter. We didn't care about, like, any of this, like, progressive nonsense. But when I think it was like 2016, it started to really ramp up, and in 2020 it really got worse. I don't know. I'm not sure when it was, but like, we're dealing with now. It's like this ugly, it's the censorship from the West. It's the uglification of the West. These ideology games that don't really sell well. They're not really games. I'm looking at you, Mixtape. I know you're not a real game, and I refuse to play you because you're not like, that's another thing too. The indie scene is now being taken over by these multi-million-dollar people, shoving their ideology down our throat. It's like, we don't want to play your fucking games. We don't want to hear. We just want to play fun fucking games. We don't care about your ideology. You keep yamming about what do you fucking want. You're constantly in a fucking rebellion, and you don't know what you want. And you know what's something else I'm just kind of really sick of with this too? Again, it's the indie scene used to be a sacred place where it's like young developers making games, maybe a team of 1 to 6, maybe 10 people making a game. Like a small group, like a small individuals, maybe getting funding, from crowdfunding sources, which is usually what you do. Guys just trying to make a big game that, will sell and people will play it. Sometimes they'll get funding from, like, tax refunds or some nonsense like that, some tax loop from governments. I don't care. Like, unless you're making something good, then fine. I know that was a jab at Glitch Productions, but here's the thing about Glitch Productions that nobody wants to mention. They are willing to take risks on weird ideas. They're willing to take risks on projects that people really want to see. I like the Amazing Digital Circus. I haven't seen Murder Drones. I've seen Gaslight District. Yeah, I was wondering what it was. It was like Gaslight. No, District. That's the word. It's District, you idiot. You moron, you fool. No, don't belittle yourself. But it's, and also, the merch sells. The merch helps these people make money. They're not making money on ad revenue, but rather than, making little plushies. Which I honestly got that the first day they announced them. The first day they announced it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get them just to support them. It was $60. They were $30 each, and so I got both of them. And I also got a keychain of Jax running away from corn. And corn, I mean actual the food product, the vegetable. But no, I'm really sick of Rockstar Games. I'm sick of the gaming industry in general because, minus the business practice, you got these people making these dumbass games, and they're like really crappy games we really don't want to see, and uglifying things and not putting any real work into their games, making these $1 million games with these high, paid actors, actual film actors. And all they're doing is being gelatinous cubes, which, by the way, God of War Laffy, that's from D&D. That's not from Greek mythology. That's why we loved God of War, was the fact that you took mythology, like Stanley taking mythology and making something new out of it. Like, seriously, what are you doing? What in God's green earth are you doing? That's not... I know it's like, oh, it's fantasy. Nobody would notice it. I noticed. Everybody noticed. Real geeks, real nerds notice. These fake theater kids, fuck them. Fuck these people. And also, like, I know there's shills out there. you know what? I don't care. I don't care for what they have to say because you know what? I don't. And I'm tired of the uglification of women too. Oh, you want female empowerment, but you're willing to put the most horrendous looking female out there with the most masculine jawline out there. Not a strong jawline like Lieutenant Tasha from Star Trek. I'm talking like, oh, she's a man, baby. Or you're just taking a beautiful actress and then just uglifying the shit out of her. I mean, like, granted, the Japanese game companies all have some wokeness elements to them. Modern day Capcom, I'm looking at you. The remakes are full of woke shit. Well, minor woke shit. The stuff that doesn't really like hit your brain right away or see it up front. But you kind of notice this in modern games nowadays. Like again, I'm not, and you're wondering why people are pirating games. Gabe Newell actually said this, people are not pirating games because they don't want to pay for these games. It's the fact that they don't want to play a game. They don't want to buy a shitty game and then have to be stuck with the money. They're in a sense, they're renting it and they're kind of like, they're not, again, he said it perfectly. He was like, they're willing to put money down on a high-end PC, but they're not willing to put money down on an absolute dog shit game that's going to lecture you about how bad it is being white or how bad you are because you're a white person and slavery, and which is basically just their communistic tactic. Who cares? I don't, I do care because you know what? It's enough is enough. And I'm tired of seeing it in all forms of entertainment. I mean, like, then again, I'm just tired of gaming being like this. Yes, I'm having fun with Starfield, and yes, I've made the game better with some mods. I'll talk about that in a later review along with that. But, I'm just tired of games being the way they are nowadays. I'm tired of the censorship. I'm tired of the whole like, oh, well, this was during a time when games were, that came out during a different time. And it's like, we are so bubble wrapped nowadays, and it's unhealthy. It's an unhealthy bubble wrapping because it's like, there's people out there who are legitimately so timid about the real world that honestly, they think getting rid of something, saving something, the same thing as like, oh, we're going to be a cashless society to save the planet. Tell me, how come like money that's not really made out of paper, it's made out of wool, is going to save the planet? It's always about saving something. We have these vulnerable, how dare you, you're going to slaughter the resources and you're going to destroy everything, and oh, our planet's going to be desolate, it's going to be the desert, and it's going to be awful, oh my god, we got to save it, it's like, enough. It's like this pedantic bullshit. I'm tired, like, guys, we've been here, like, you've been claiming every decade, you've been claiming the planet, we're going to be dealing with global warming, global cooling, the ice caps melting, climate change, the world's ending, all the environment, we got to save it, stop using these products, stop being human, stop, oh my god, I can save no, stop it, just stop it right now, because it's getting annoying, because we've been doing this for decades now, and the planet is still here. Relax. I know I went on for an environmental thing, but it's the same thing here with the discs. It's like, yes, I want a physical disc. I don't think it's going to bother the planet. I don't. Hey, if you really do care about the environment, talk to fucking China. All right? Talk to fucking China about their bullshit. All right? Oh, no. They're on the same page. They're communists like we are. It's, excuse me? Oh, so you won't go after them because they're communists. Okay, I see. I see how this is. You're willing to go after America because you think, because we're free. We're free. We don't give a shit what other countries think. They don't care. We don't give a shit. We're different from everybody else. Oh, but now that we're not doing the same thing as, China or the rest of the world, not being green, oh, well, what about paying for medical? Well, at least, I'll pay the amount for the medical. But at least I know it's not free, because things that are free are not that good. Remember that, folks. Freedom isn't free. You have to pay a price for that. Okay, I'm going off on a political rant here, and I apologize for this. We're talking about gaming news. And I'm going to be honest, too. Like, I'm going to be honest. I'm always saying that. So it's a crutch. So, I should just say I'm pausing for effect here for a moment. But I'm just so tired of gaming now being like this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so tired of, and again, I don't think gaming's dying, because retro gaming is kind of like where it's at, in my mind, where it's really at, and also the fact that people still like these older games. They're willing to play in older consoles. They're willing to watch people like Maximum Dude or the AVGN or uh the Rad Brad, which is a name that hasn't popped up in a long time. They're willing to watch people play video games. They're willing to play video games. Hell, right now I'm in the middle of playing the Tomb Raider trilogy remaster. And after I'm done that, I'm gonna have to get the new one. I'm gonna have to get it on physical disc because I don't want PlayStation to remove my games that I bought. Why? Why the fudge would you do such a thing? And now we got to find the physical copy of Tomb Raider 3. Excuse me, of the Tomb Raider trilogy remastered on physical disc. And I don't know where to look. I really don't. I've tried Amazon. I don't seem to have it. It just seems like they don't want us to have anything, and they're willing to like take it, censor everything, so we don't have some imagination. We don't have a drive. We don't have anything to look forward to. And yes, this is why I get it. You're a gamer. You should go out and touch grass. But to be honest with you, even touching grass is like getting scary because you have people not giving a shit about touching grass. You know what I mean? It's like. And also, not everybody's out there building sheds, too. Some people want to play a video game, relax, and just beat up some zombies, or, beat up some bad guys, shoot some zombies, save the day, explore a world that's not ours, actually go out there and carry, I'm sorry, I'm playing Starfield, and I'm honestly, like, people may call that game woke, but at least you're not, like, going into gun-free zones in that game, which I'm honestly laughing at a little bit. It's like, at least they will let you carry firearms in that world. It's like nobody's like that passive in a sense. They're still open carrying in the Starfield universe. So it's like, okay, at least they were like, fine, explorers, fuck it, whatever. Which I'm honestly like, they should bring having a physical gun on your side again. That was incredible. But again, I'm just so super tired of it. I really am. I'm really tired of just the gaming scene becoming so dog shit nowadays. I'm just and again, I get why people don't want to play retro games because the graphics are not that uber pretty and they're not that special. And I know I'm sounding like a hypocrite because I'm playing the Tomb Raider remaster, which, by the way, if you really look at the remastered graphics, they look like PS2 graphics, which I'm all for. Because it looks like that's what it looks like to me. It looks like PS2 to /PS3 graphics. The remaster does. That's why I'm not like upset about it because they just slightly bumped it up to being a little bit more high res, a little bit more well detailed and less pixelated. So it's like, okay, it went from 32-bit to the polygon. Like, they increased it a little bit, which I'm honestly like, okay, this is what the game would have looked like if it was on PS2 or PS3. That's it. That's what it is. And you can switch it back to the PS1 style, but there's something missing but it's also like a good history lesson too. Like looking at those PS1 games in those graphics and you're like, "Oh, the one thing that's always missing is that PS1 Dark Void." Like I actually was like screwing around with the photo mode camera and I went up into like one of the levels and I looked down. And they actually had a better skybox than they did before because now they have like a jungle down below. I'm playing the first level of the third game, and there's a jungle down below, and you can see this beautiful thing. And I switched it back to the PS1 style graphics, and I was like, oh, there's the PlayStation 1 Dark Void, which, by the way, made those older games better in my mind because they use the darkness to kind of hide darkness. Same thing with Silent Hill, they used the darkness to kind of like hide the rendering showing up. So it was like, okay, it's a cool effect. Because nowadays it's like the rendering doesn't matter, so you can go further out into the world. But it's like, I still miss it. I still miss that kind of thing. Where like why the PS1, like why the older games are so good. Because certain like limitations made for cool aesthetic. Like again, PS1 darkness. The charm of of the 8-bit games, the music kind of like jamming, you can understand like what influences they made or what influences of the songs they use and all that stuff, and the simplicity of the gameplay as well. Like, okay, you didn't have the most advanced graphics, but you also had some of the better like gameplay mechanics to understand it a little bit. Same thing with the 16-bit 32-bit era. I mean, especially with PlayStation and Nintendo 64, using those limitations, especially with PlayStation. I mean, like that. Why do you think PlayStation had the better survival horror games than N64? N64 had fun games, but if you were looking for a good old fashioned spooky time, there you go. So yeah. So there is your sign. But I think that's all I'm gonna say. My final thoughts. Yes, this is bullshit. Uh, I kind of miss when gaming was just normal and fun. Support real indie games, not the people who are making mixtape. Look out for that shit. Support real indie developers. Uh, and if you do like some AAA games and AA games, fine, whatever. But just know what you're buying and know what you're supporting. All right. I think I spoke long enough. Take care. Love you. Bye bye. And remember, stay cool. All right. Peace be with you. And cut.